Hello and welcome back to another thrilling week of the Sun Bookshop Recommends. Um, Joining us this evening is Kate, myself, and Amanda to run you through some of the books that we have been reading and loving and hope to recommend this week. Amanda.
Okay, I am going to recommend My Dark Vanessa, which came out earlier this year. And it is about a relationship between a 15-year-old girl and her teacher, and he's 42. So it's split between the year 2017 and the year 2000 when she's when she's 15 and the relationship starts. And then it comes full circle to the present day. And it's sort of during the Me Too movement, and someone else comes forward and says that he abused her as well, and so Vanessa has to re-examine the relationship and sort of decide, because she thinks that it wasn't abuse, it was the love of her life, and she knows that it was illegal, but she refuses to accept that it is abuse. So obviously it is very confronting, but it was just such a page turner. Like, I was so sucked into it and couldn't stop reading. And I love that the writer is so good at making me feel so strongly about the characters, and I felt angry, I felt upset, I felt shocked and disturbed, and she's really good at capturing the difference in the voices between the 15-year-old Vanessa and 32-year-old Vanessa, and it really took me back to what it was like when I was 15, and it helps you just understand the kind of dynamic of that relationship and how people in those positions of power are able to manipulate people into these kind of relationships. And yeah, she also just is so good at describing the setting, which is Maine, and she really brings that into the story as well. So yeah, it's one of my favorites from this year, and that's about it.
Wow, that sounds intense. Well, following on from that, I'm going to recommend The Survivors by Jane Harper. And I mean, I'm a huge fan of Jane Harper's writing. I've loved all of her books. I thought The Dry was just such an amazing debut, and I think she's just gone from strength to strength with everything she's written, and this one is absolutely no exception. It's just gripping, page-turning thriller. I read it in a day. It was just, I could not put it down. So it's set in a small Tasmanian coastal town called Evelyn Bay, and Kieran, who's our main protagonist, and his partner Mia have returned for the first time in sort of 3 years with their baby daughter Audrey, and they're helping Kieran's parents move out of the old family home. And as the story sort of progresses, you discover that 12 years previously, there was a terrible tragedy in the town, and 3 of the townspeople lost their life. And Kieran is sort of, he is made out to be the culprit, and you sort of don't quite know what has happened until the story progresses. And obviously the worst thing to do for me right now would be to tell you what happened, etc., as if you haven't read the book, so I won't. But it's just such an amazing, again, very similar to The Dry, this amazing study of a small town and how secrets start coming out as tensions build when another body is discovered in the present day. And you get this sort of slow reveal of what happened previously, 12 years previously, and who all the suspects were and who are now suspects in this new case. And it's just that really great look at when secrets and finger pointing starts happening in a small town, what it can do to business and what it can do to locals. And it just kind of tears everybody apart as well. And Jane Harper is just such a brilliant artist in terms of being able to create such an amazing sense of place and character. Immediately upon opening the book and reading the prologue, I was kind of gripped from the very beginning right until the very end, when, I mean, once again, the person I thought it wasn't. So there you go. Which I've found with, you know, she's just so great at peppering in those sort of the red herrings throughout the book, and you kind of think, oh, it must be this person, or then this little tidbit of information comes out, and you think, oh no, maybe it's this person. So yeah, great read, great page turner. I mean, the weather has kind of turned back to winter-like, so it's a great book to to curl up with and hide from the rain. So yeah, I highly recommend Jane Harper's The Survivors. And yeah, I hope you've enjoyed our very brief recommendation of a couple of great gripping novels. And we will see you next week. Thanks, everyone.